Let's go to the breaking story coming out of Israel. Ronen Bar has announced he's to resign as head of Israel's Shin Bet security service. This follows a controversy where he revealed Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered him to be loyal to him rather than to the state. Netanyahu is denying the allegation, but Ronen Bar has held firm. He gave notice that he's to quit at a special event to honour fallen service personnel at Shin Bet headquarters. This is now scheduled for June the 15th, his resignation. Let's bring in Noga Tarnopolsky, our correspondent in Jerusalem, for more on this one. Noga, what more can you add?
Well, it really leaves Israel hanging even more than it's been hanging until now, if you can imagine that. In a way, Ronen Bar's decision to resign was completely expected. He runs an agency, a security agency, that failed completely in its task on October 7th, 23, which was to warn Israel that danger was incoming. And from the point of view of many people, including some of his supporters, he should have resigned a long time ago. But he held on because of the aberrant situation in Israel in which the entire governing coalition, the entire government that oversaw the disaster and that oversaw the policy of funding Hamas and of viewing Hamas as a partner, or to quote the finance minister, as an asset, before the disaster, remained in place and not only refused to resign, but refused to even appoint a commission of inquiry. And so he remained as a kind of corollary to this stagnation in the political and military leadership of Israel. His resignation may burn off the government's threat made yesterday by the Prime Minister himself, which was that if the Supreme Court rules that his firing was illegal, as it appears to have been, yesterday the Prime Minister threatened simply to ignore the Supreme Court if it were to rule that way. So he may have given the government a bit of a ledge off of that threat, but honestly, I expect the next 6 weeks in Israel until he leaves office to be extremely bumpy.
Does this in any way ease the pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu?
Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday presented to the Supreme Court an affidavit in response to the claims made in Ronen Bar's affidavit. Both of these are sworn oaths, and both came accompanied with a thick wad of classified documents viewed only by the justices and not by the public. But Netanyahu's statement made yesterday, his affidavit, is a very problematic one in which it appears, the more one examines this document, that he misled the court, that he misquoted protocols, that he released biased and clipped or inaccurate versions of government discussions, of cabinet discussions in which Ronen Bar participated. So on the one hand, yes, this could remove pressure from the Prime Minister because now he can tell his ministers and his political base, you see, I got rid of him, he's quitting. On the other hand, Netanyahu may have entangled himself in a real accusation of contempt of court, or worse, of interfering in court proceedings with this very questionable document he presented yesterday.
Noga Tarnopolsky in Jerusalem. As always, thank you very much indeed for bringing us insight and analysis.
Thank you, Mark.